All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Back again with another live stream, bringing you the latest in Chelsea news. Of course, today is match day, but there's still quite a lot of news that's floating around, and I'd love to discuss all of that with you guys, and I'd love to see what you guys think about some of these news and create a really good discussion. And then during the match day, I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing. I want to be as close to you guys as possible, and as talk about Chelsea as much as possible with you guys. I mean, you get the weekend to really hone in on some good topics, I suppose. So yeah, thank you to each and every one of you guys that have joined already. Smash the like button as soon as you come through. Very important. We want to keep up with all the likes today. So let's get those likes up to well over 30 already within the first minute. Get those likes up. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. If you enjoy and you always watch the channel, subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification as well. And please check out the pinned comment in the live chat. I've just started the second channel where we'll talk about everything else besides Chelsea. This Chelsea content is paramount on this particular channel, and every other news in regards to other clubs will be on the second channel. So please make sure you subscribe to the second channel. I'm gonna be dropping a video on Barcelona very soon, probably after this one, on the second channel. Barcelona are in the mud with all the corruption. That club, man, I don't know how that club is allowed to continue. It is to the core corrupted, to the core. And now all sorts of news coming out how they might have paid off some of the referees. But that's in La Liga. But I'm pretty sure they've done it in Europe as well. There's no doubts about that. We still remember that infamous match back in, I believe, 2009. Where we should have had at least 4 penalties, man. I mean, Didier Drogba, that infamous, going up to the camera and saying this is an effing disgrace. So we'll talk about that. So make sure you subscribe on that channel where we'll talk about Barcelona and their corruption, and I'll bring out some of the information that's been put on the Athletic. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for 3 different topics. Joao Felix wants to be part of the Chelsea long-term project. Seems like he believes in it. He likes being in London. And the more and more I sort of look into this, I think he really does. Recently, he hit a like on Fabrizio Romano's tweet saying that, he's enjoying life at London. He wants to probably stay at London full-time at Chelsea Football Club. And he liked that. So, look, I think he definitely wants to be at Chelsea Football Club. There's no doubt about that now. But I still want to see production. Do you know what I mean? I still want to see production. Look, he's young. He's obviously going to develop. So we'll talk about Joao Felix in more detail. What does it mean for, when someone like Nkunku comes in next season? We're also looking for a striker. What does it mean for Kai Havertz? Graham Potter really believes in Kai Havertz. So we're going to talk about that as well. So we're going to talk about Joao Felix. We're going to talk about Havertz. I don't know if Graham Potter wants to really let go of Havertz. He truly believes in him, I personally feel. And then Graham Potter in the press conference had something to say about Mudryk as well. For all the people that's wondering what's going on with Mudryk, what's going on with Mykhailo Mudryk, he's not getting any game time. So we'll talk about that. Graham Potter had something to say in regards to that, which will be interesting to touch on. And hopefully, that will give you guys some comfort and some sort of understanding about the whole situation. Okay. 100 people in within the first 4 minutes. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, all the mods, please push the likes. I can see Shubra, my man, is here. Fads RS7, Critical, good to see you, my man. Deepak, good to see you. Yaya Torre is in the house. Chelsea Boy 25, Dark Web is here. I think I saw Valan as well earlier. Bashkar is here. The Blues, Patrick, Digital Film Reviews, Bashkar. Yeah, there you go. Valant Serves, good to see you. Good to see all of you guys, honestly. The Blues. Mohammed, wa alaikum assalam to my brother Mohammed. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get in on the act. Just quickly, this is a very interesting comment to start off with. What do you guys think about Florian Wirtz? Very good player. I think we were linked with him a couple of seasons ago. Then there was an injury. He had a very lengthy layoff in the injury. and now he's back. He's killing it for Leverkusen. He's absolutely destroying it under Xavi Alonso over there. And sad to see, obviously, Callum Hudson-Odoi doesn't get an opportunity over there. Not that he doesn't get, he probably doesn't even deserve an opportunity over there, to be honest. I mean, he's played enough matches. He's done absolutely nothing. But Florian Wirtz, on the other hand, has been doing it. They're different positions, I understand. But Florian Wirtz has been doing very, very good. Okay. Let's talk about the first news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring this up. Joao Felix, wow. Felix is very happy with his experience in London and will push to stay at Chelsea. He wants it to be a long-term project. Todd Boehly will negotiate with Atlético Madrid. This is coming from Mate Moreto. Mate Moreto is actually quite reliable, if I'm being absolutely honest. Relevo as well. I'm not sure whether Relevo is, but this is Mate Moreto, I guess, via Relevo. Mate Moreto, he's got some good information. In regards to Joao Felix, look, I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I think this guy, from the short time that he's already been at Chelsea Football Club, has shown his quality, but I do still need that production. Need him to get banging goals. He gets into really lovely areas. He's got to put some goals away, man. Dortmund, first leg, could have had a hat-trick. Dortmund, second leg, probably could have had one. Leeds hit the post. I would like him to sooner or later, hit those goals. Yeah, by the way, it's Florian Wirtz. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ritz, not Wits. There is an R there. I just don't want another player that's at Chelsea Football Club. Aesthetically looks really good movement, good footballing IQ, but the production isn't there. And we've paid a handsome amount of money for someone like Joao Felix, in terms of the loan. That it's a high price that we've paid. And I understand why. He probably wants to stay at London. He's getting a nice free role at Chelsea Football Club. He does work hard for us as well, press as well. But at Chelsea, he's not caged, whereas in Atlético Madrid, he's more caged. I think he's kind of mentioned that in recent times in media, that it's different. He gets to be a little bit more freer. And I think Graham Potter, the way he's utilizing him is perfect. So, look, I can understand why he feels comfortable here as opposed to Atlético Madrid. And look, the glitz and glamour of London, right? The glitz and glamour of English Premier League. All top players want to be in English Premier League. Why would you want to go back to Atlético Madrid? No disrespect to Atlético Madrid. Very, very top club. La Liga is a very good league. But English Premier League is the Super League. You know how they talk about the Super League? English Premier League is the Super League. And the top players want to be in the English Premier League. So, look, I've got no issues that Todd Boehly and the board and the ownership, at the end of the season, they can 100% they can go up to Atlético Madrid and negotiate something. Don't forget, we've already paid a hefty amount of price for the loan fee. So hopefully that will be a part of the discount. So let's say, I don't know, Joao Felix is worth, 90 million. We've already paid 13 million or odd off that 90. So hopefully, Atlético Madrid, when they look into this whole situation, they do consider what we've already paid for him this season. So, and they don't try and sort of go well over. I really don't want them to act like, having us in a bit of a ransom. And I hope, look, I think Felix is probably going to be approximately about 80 to 85 million. I personally think. And if that's the case, let's do it. If Atlético Madrid goes out and starts, putting some sort of price in regards to 100 million or not, it really comes down to then production. I need to see Joao Felix banging some goals till the end of the season. I think, 13 games remaining in the Premier League. I need him to score. If he can get to, what's a reasonable number, ladies and gentlemen? What's a reasonable number for Joao Felix? Not just, I guess, Premier League, because we're not in any other domestic cups. Champions League, we've got the quarterfinals now, and that might be the end. So who knows? We'll see. Hopefully we can go further. But 13 matches, you're guaranteed 13 matches in the Premier League, and you've got 2 matches in the Champions League. What would be your minimum expectation, live chat? Well over 170 people right now. What is your minimum expectation for Joao Felix in terms of goals and assists that you want to see? And be realistic. Someone's RS7 saying 15. I mean, if he gets 15, sign him up. Look, I'd say for the remainder of the season in the Premier League, 13 games, if you can get about 7 goals, half, let's say, if you can get about 7 Premier League goals and let's say close to 5 assists, I think that's a decent amount. That's a decent amount. And then in the Champions League as well, I hope he can be a monster there. I think 8 to 10 goals and assists, that's approximately 7. I said 7 plus 5, so it's about 12. 8 to 10 goals and assists, I think that does it for everyone. 5 goals, 5 assists, yeah, I'd probably take that. If that's at least 7, 10 goals and assists. Look, seems like 10 is the bare minimum. A lot of people are saying 10. And I guess that's the thing. If we don't get 10, if we don't get at least 10, how would you feel, ladies and gentlemen? Would you feel comfortable to pay that amount of money? Let's say about approximately 85 million Great British pound. If we don't get close to, let's say, 10 goal contribution, goals and assists combined to the remainder of the season. And mind you, he's a young player. He is a young player. You know, I guess it'll be very harsh to just judge him just for this short amount of time. But history also suggests Joao Felix has not really been a ruthless goal machine or an assist machine either. He's got the capacity, he's got the capability, but he's not done that. So would you invest that level of money? He's got the skill set. It's just, I feel like you just need a particular manager that manager is going to be able to, you know, unlock that ruthlessness. Do you know what I mean? Because as I said, that skill set is there. But if he doesn't get 10 goals and assists, like as in goal contribution, to spend that much money, knowing that you've got Nkunku coming in, knowing that our owners are interested in getting a striker as well, it is an interesting conversation. Obviously, there's Mudryk, there's Madueke. Don't forget, there's a whole heap of different players that we already have who are going to be part of the long-term project. Yes, Christian Pulisic, Ziyech, and all, they're going to have to leave. They're going to have to go. But Joao Felix, you know, there's going to be competition. There's 100% going to be competition. So me, if I don't get that level of production till the end of the season, I would be a little bit hesitant. And maybe that might work for us. Maybe that might work for us in terms of negotiating a fee with Atletico, saying that, look, he didn't really smash it, so give us a bit of a discount. I guess if he does smash it, then maybe we don't get that discount. So there's something to think about. Let's see what you guys are saying right now. Digital Film Reviews. He is worth the money, except we have too many of these kinds of players. That's the problem. That's the thing. We have too many of these type of players that look very good, but just don't have that production. And we need to get production. Depends on the rest of his play and how we play as a team. If we play like we did on Tuesday and he doesn't get the goals, then there is an issue. There you go. A lot of people are already saying that there will be an issue. I think we can match. I think we can much better than Felix. I think we can get much better than Felix, especially with how much he costs. His output isn't the best. That's the thing. We do need to be convinced with the output. We do need to be convinced. We have Nkunku also coming in. That's the other factor. Nkunku and Joao Felix, probably similar type of players, you know. And don't forget Sterling as well. We have Sterling too. So, yeah, we would have to think twice to spend that level of money if Joao Felix, you know, doesn't produce. We need a real number 9. No need buying Joao since we have Nkunku. Instead, we get Dominic Szoboszlai, and that's another name. Apparently, it's a serious target. We've apparently scouted Dominic Szoboszlai. Fabrizio Romano has mentioned this. So, are we already looking at a scenario where if we don't get Joao Felix, I think our owners really want to get Joao Felix because, you know, he's a big name. He's a superstar quality. It's a lot of money to spend if the investment doesn't give you the right return. Someone like Dominic Szoboszlai will be a lot cheaper, and I think this is coming from Christopher Vavel's connection with the Leipzig group. So, from a skill set point of view, I think Joao Felix is more skillful, in my personal opinion, than Dominic Szoboszlai, but they could potentially have the same level of output. So, you know, someone like Dominic Szoboszlai can get for a lot cheaper produce the same output. He's a lot older though. How old is Szoboszlai? Let me have a quick look at this. Dominic Szoboszlai age. Dominic Szoboszlai age. Let's have a look at that. Oh wow, he's 22. I thought he was older. He's 22. He's not old. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. That is interesting. I might actually do a poll. Here. See what you guys think about this. See what you guys have to think about this. Let's see in the poll. Who would you prefer? Dominic Szoboszlai or Joao Felix? Interesting. Let's ask. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. With the poll happening, participate in the poll, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see where this goes. Okay, let's move on to, let's take a few more comments before we move on to the next topic. Artav is saying, Miz, I think Mount leaves. We will definitely go all in for Felix. By the looks of it, he also wants to stay as he don't want to play for Simeone anymore. Look, I think Mount is starting to look like Felix is 23. Felix is already he's actually older than Dominic Szoboszlai. That's mad. I had no idea. I thought Felix was actually younger than Szoboszlai. Interesting, very, very interesting. But yeah, Mount, it looks like he is going to move on, and we will buy. It's going to be another big summer, but a lot of players will have to leave. Maybe Joao Felix could come into the frame. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen. Graham Potter on Kai Havertz. And this is what I'm saying. I think Graham Potter really, really believes in Kai Havertz. Truly, truly does believe in Kai Havertz. This is what he had to say in regards to Kai. I have no doubt about Kai. He's a top player, delivers in big moments, gives his best for the team all the time, and runs himself into the ground. This is coming from Adam Newson. Further goes on to say he probably benefited from playing a slightly different position against Dortmund, but whenever you ask him to do, he does his best. That's a great starting point. He's still young and he's got all the attributes to be a top player. Score goals, assist, help the team. He can be all-round fantastic attacking player. Do you know what? Like, we've seen Kai Havertz drop so many disaster classes after disaster classes. And Graham Potter still believes in him and still gives him all the opportunities. Aubameyang is nowhere to be seen in the scene. He is finished. Aubameyang's career, Chelsea career is done. It didn't even kick off. It didn't even start. And before it started, it finished. David Datra Fofana, I think, will probably go on a loan next season. I feel like Chelsea is taking their time on David Datra Fofana. They don't want to just throw him into the mix straight away. Amanda Broya, I'm not really sure how he'll come out to be once his injury is, once he recovers from the injury, long-term injury. I think Graham Potter's looking at Kai Havertz as a striker, I really do. I know we're going to go for a striker. I know there's a whole heap of rumors about us getting a striker. But if you get Joao Felix, and we're getting Nkunku, like, that's two players that's very similar. And if Kai Havertz, if he plays the kind of role, as Graham Potter said, similar to the Dortmund one, a little bit deeper, where he looked a lot comfortable. And once again, I don't want to just take that as the, standard and the barometer, because let's be honest, Premier League teams are a lot more aggressive than Dortmund. Not to disrespect Dortmund, but I feel like Dortmund, they give you a little bit of time and space. They really do. And maybe Havertz benefited of that. We'll see how Kai Havertz finishes the end of the season in the Premier League, especially. Premier League teams are ruthless. And so far, Kai Havertz this season has not done well in the Premier League. And even previous seasons as well, bits and pieces where he was good. But this season, going back to the point, Graham Potter truly believes in him. Graham Potter truly, I keep thinking that maybe Havertz is one of those players that's going to get sold in the summer, next summer. But I don't know, man. I think Graham Potter might just keep him. I mean, is it possible? Is it possible to get a new striker? Don't forget, Lukaku, we've not sold him. And I watched Inter play yesterday. I don't think Lukaku is that bad, you know. I don't know. I don't think he's going to come back and want to play for Chelsea. But then again, he doesn't have the issues with Graham Potter. Crazier things have happened in life. Do you know what I mean? But I think Lukaku wants to stay at Inter Milan. But Inter knows exactly how to play with Lukaku. If you see the way they move with Lukaku, early passes, link up, they just know. They still ended up losing, which was mad. I don't know how they lost to Spezia. Ethan Ampadu Spezia. Ethan Ampadu had a decent enough match, actually, to be honest, in a back three. But even if we do get a striker, is it possible? Is it a possible scenario to have Joao Felix, Kai Havertz, Nkunku, a new striker? You know, all of these players, like, you know, of course there's going to be rotation. Of course there's going to be a lot of matches to play. Depending on if we make Europe, if we don't make Europe altogether, that's going to be... See, this is why a lot of people are like, I don't want to make Conference League. Man, you best believe we need extra competitions next season, not just the domestic cups. And I hope we don't get knocked out in the first round. So unlucky that we ended up getting Man City in both the matches against in FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Hopefully that's not the case next season. And we can get a bit of a run in both those domestic cups. But we need some form of Europe, I personally feel. I know a lot of people look down on Conference League. I'm more looking at it in the sense that our players need game time. Do you know what I mean? Our players will need game time. Europa League, if we can get a Europa League, wow. And then if we end up winning the Champions League somehow, then we get the Champions League again, right? So we will need extra game next season. And how all of these players are going to fit in, I'm not sure. How are you going to get a new striker, which we do need? We need someone who's going to bang in at least 20 goals. We can't have these bit part players. Do you know what I mean? We need someone who's going to be genuinely banging in 20 goals. And then you have the likes of, you know, Joao Felix, Nkunku, and Kai Havertz. I'm not sure how you're going to fit all of them, but Graham Potter really, really believes in Kai Havertz. Don't be surprised if somehow Kai stays at Chelsea Football Club. And if he does, he's got to improve. He's got to improve. I think Kai Havertz will be sold in the summer. Don't be surprised if he isn't. Do not be surprised. It'll be interesting. I would rather we are in Europe so we can sign more players. I think we're going to sign players regardless if we're in Europe or not. I mean, it seems like players are getting convinced. Convincing players to come to Chelsea doesn't seem to be the problem. They really, really believe in the long-term project. They see what's going on at Chelsea Football Club, so they're interested about that. I don't think that'll be a problem. But I think it will be a problem if we don't make Europe at all, because how are you going to give game time to all of these people unless, obviously, there's, again, a whole heap of, you know, injuries that happen to everyone. Pulisic needs game time. You cannot make him more rusty by not playing him today. Look, I fully expect Pulisic to be part because there's talks that Sterling is doubtful. And if you are doubtful, then I don't want to take any risk because Sterling has been injured this season. Pulisic should feature in certain level, but he's another player that he's definitely has to leave. Christian Pulisic, we've been patient enough. In the summer, he needs to go. Sell Kai and get a real striker. Imagine we had Tony and Osimhen, we would have been in top 4. That's how I'm thinking. I'm thinking, look, Kai, there's no benefit in keeping Kai. You might as well go all out and get yourself a striker who's going to bang in goals, because you already got Joao Felix and Nkunku, who are sort of similar stylistically to Kai Havertz, and they probably will have more output, hopefully, than Kai. So if there's an opportunity to let go of Kai, then let go of Kai, potentially in the Bundesliga. I'm sure there'll be suitors in the Bundesliga. I don't know if Potter would like that. I think Potter might actually tell our board and our ownership that I want him. My thinking is we need a good and healthy amount of players because we need depth. Look at Man United. They are now suffering from exhaustion. We need to have good depth off the bench, any here and there. Now, I hear you. I definitely hear you. We do need good depth. But Man United, they won the Carabao Cup. Like they've been in, and they're in the FA Cup as well still, and they're in the Europa League as well. So, and they're potentially going to progress in the Europa League. They're going to beat Real Betis. So we need to be in a similar situation next season where our depth can actually be utilized. We don't want to be in a situation where it's just Premier League, because we're probably not going to make it to the Champions League unless we end up winning the Champions League. So you're going to have all of these players, just one game Premier League to play if we get knocked out from the domestic cups. So I would like to see us, be in quite a lot of competition. That's all I'm saying. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. Everyone talking about Osimhen and Tony. I want Gonzalo Ramos. He's similar to Havertz, but actually scores. Young Benzema region. Do you know what? When I first saw him in the World Cup, I was like, okay, looks very good. Joao Felix actually combined with Gonzalo Ramos really well for that match where they pumped, I think, Switzerland maybe 6 or 7-0 or something like that. I can't exactly remember. Maybe it was 6-1. But I didn't want to get too gassed. I thought, okay, good. But recently, Benfica, watching Gonzalo Ramos, I think he's more than just a striker. I think he can somewhat be a creative player as well. Do you know what I mean? Score goals and assist goals. He's very good. Can he adapt to Premier League, though? That's a different story. You can ball out for Benfica in the Portuguese league. You can ball out in the Champions League against Club Brugge. We'll see. We'll see what Gonzalo Ramos does against bigger teams, because Benfica now will move into the quarterfinals. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe Chelsea draws, Benfica into the quarterfinals. We'll see how Gonzalo Ramos does. I need to see a little bit more of Gonzalo Ramos. I do. I don't want to jump the gun as yet. So far, I think he's come across some Mickey Mouse teams. So let's see when the big lads come in, how Gonzalo Ramos reacts to that. I definitely need to see that. I don't want to jump. Far too many times we've jumped the gun and some of these players have not worked out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, let's move on to next topic, which is Mykhailo Mudryk. Some interesting comments, which hopefully will give us a better understanding of what's going on. Ramos is same as Jesus. Yeah, similar sort of style. I do have to agree. Romeo Lavia and Koto Kone all day, definitely in terms of defensive midfield. After Costa, we did not have a proper goal scorer threat up front. So in my opinion, we're going to sign one. We cannot make another mistake we did till now. It has to be perfect signing up front now. I agree. We need an attack. We need a striker, someone who's going to bang in goals. Words can't describe how perfect Ivan Toney is for us. He is actually perfect. So well-rounded, good touch, good link up, good in the air, and great finisher and Premier League proven. But he's by far my number one preference. He's sensational. There's no doubt about that. I'm just worried how long his gambling charges, like how many. I feel like he's going to miss a substantial amount of time. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses half of next season. I mean, are you willing to take that gamble? Are you willing to gamble that? I suppose, knowing that he's not going to be around for half the season. How's his fitness level going to be after that? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to take that. If I want to take that chance, man. Unless we get him for a discount from Brentford. We get him for a massive discount. I just don't know, man. I think he's going to get banned for quite a bit of time, man, honestly speaking. All right, we're going to talk about Mykhailo Mudryk after this super chat. Dan, thank you so much for this super chat. After seeing how good Kai played against Dortmund on the right of attack, dropping deep, I would keep him, sign Osimhen as a number 9 and play Felix and Kai on the left and right a bit deeper. Boehly. Hey, you've forgotten Nkunku. Don't forget, we're going to have Nkunku as well. And once again, don't just get fooled by one game, Dan. Just have a look at Kai. This is my thing. I want to see how Kai plays for the rest of the season before I get too excited about it. Do you know what I mean? All right. Graham Potter on Mykhailo Mudryk. Of course, every player wants to play, and it's important that players play to improve. I think that's a fact. Potter explained. But at the same time, it's not a straight road. It's not just a play and everything happens in a linear way. Sometimes you have to take a step away. Sometimes you need a bit of training time. Sometimes you need a breather. So there's a lot of factors. Further goes on to say, hopefully he can benefit from the time he's had. And again, it's not easy for him to just arrive in the middle of what was pre-season for him and to come into a new country, new club, new league, and just hit his absolute maximum level. It is regardless of the fee. I know people will look at the fee, but it doesn't change the situation he's in. So well said. So well said. And he goes on to say, we're positive about him. We're positive about the future for him, but we need just to help him settle and help him understand what he needs to do to help us. Do you know what? I'm quite impressed actually with Graham Potter with man management. I initially thought maybe he's not the greatest man management manager, I suppose, out there. But there's a reason why all these players are coming out and having a lot of praise about him. Whether he can win trophies, I don't know. I'm still doubtful about that. He's never done that in previously, so we'll see. He'll have to win trophies with Chelsea Football Club, so we'll see. That's why winning today, winning from here on in is crucial. Win as many as you can. You can only lose or drop points here and there. You got to win more. But one thing I think we can definitely say, all these players, they seem to like Graham Potter and his man management skills a lot. Look at the way he kind of guided Cucurella recently. Look at the way how he's been, with Koulibaly as well. Koulibaly has so much praise, even though at times Koulibaly wasn't even used from the bench, or sometimes he's not even in the squad. But I think he's just getting the time to just settle down. A lot of changes. You got to adapt. Same with Cucurella. Do you know what I mean? Don't be surprised if he's doing something with Mason Mount. But Mason Mount's situation could be just a bit out of hand because of the contract situation. Mudryk similarly. Mudryk similarly as well. Kai Havertz, look at the way he has so much trust on Kai Havertz. Now, similarly, you could say, well, look at what he's doing with Aubameyang. But with Oba, look, there's going to be players that are going to get hurt, right? The squad is so big. And maybe he just looked at the cover situation and it's like, you know what? You're not really part of my long-term plan. So no point in dilly-dallying around. Look at the way how he's handling Ziyech as well. Ziyech was literally a PSG player. And look at how he manages Ziyech. So maybe his man management skills are good, and maybe we just need to stay patient as a fan base. We have to stay patient as a fan base in regards to Mykhailo Mudryk. Mudryk is going to be, I've got no doubts he's going to be a sensational player. I really have no doubts. From the bits and pieces I've already seen, I think his pace, the way he dribbled against Liverpool and entered we could have won. He could have scored against Liverpool. I know the first touches have been a joke since then. Last few matches he's featured, his first touches have been a joke. I know. He's been a laughing stock. But that is the match sharpness. That is the match sharpness in time that will come. It will come good. I don't think he's going to be a Timo Werner or Lukaku type of a player where the first touch is poor. Because we've seen him previously for Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League, how well he's played. There's a reason why Mikel Arteta wanted Mudryk only. And I feel like Mikel Arteta, overall, his talent ID is not bad. If he's going for a player like Mudryk so much, there's something about that player then. So, look, Hazard vibes. Look, I don't want to give these kind of names as yet, Hazard vibes and this and that. That I feel like that's disrespect to Hazard. Hazard, he was sublime. But if one day Mudryk can be of that level, wow. But we just need to stay patient. Hopefully, we get to see a bit of Mudryk today against Leicester. I don't know whether he'll start. I don't want too much tinkering. He may potentially start with Sterling not being available. But Mudryk on the right side, I don't know. But maybe he needs to try that out. Who knows? Maybe Joao Felix might be on the right side and Mudryk on the left. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And even if he doesn't start, if he comes off the bench, it'll be interesting. I think today we definitely see some level from Mudryk, and it'll be interesting to see how he performs. But we shouldn't just get in and slam him if he doesn't do well. We have to stay patient with Mudryk. I know a lot of people will say, well, why is it one thing for Mudryk and a different thing for other players? Now, other players, they've been around for a very long time. Mudryk has literally just arrived at Chelsea Football Club. Let's give him some time to adapt. In regards to the poll, 188 minutes gone, 80% won Joao Felix. So people have spoken. Madueke and Mudryk will share the minutes together. I'm going to end the poll, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like majority wants Joao Felix. Madueke and Mudryk will share the minutes today. I want to see Madueke as well. I haven't seen him for a little while. I think it's going to be quite interesting. What's your thoughts on Palhinha? Is solid DM, young Portuguese leader, and could be cheap. I like him, man. I do like him. We should look at players like that. We really should. Not going to lie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. I do want to drop a video on the second channel. So that's what I want to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, please, we've got over 300 people. I'd like to hit 1,000 subscribers on the second channel immediately as possible. The link to the second channel is in the pinned comment. Please subscribe ASAP. If you enjoyed this channel, that channel, you're going to love it because we're going to talk about all the other clubs, everything and anything, all the hot topics. I'm planning to drop a Barcelona video very, very soon talking about their corruption. They've been caught out. Apparently paying out referees. So we'll look into that. So please subscribe to that. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. Smash the like button before you go. If you're here for the first time, subscribe on this channel. We're going to try and progress this channel to 30,000 down the track. Hopefully we get there. I'm sure by God willing, we will get there. And make sure you're back again for the watch along. We'll be here for the watch along. So make sure each and every one of you guys are here for the watch along. Until then, everyone, take care. See you soon. Bye.